Hollywood loves the spotlight, but the truth often hides in the shadows. When some of the most iconic black actors left this world, shocking secrets began to surface. Stories of silent battles, hidden sacrifices, and behind-the-scenes struggles that no one saw while the cameras were rolling. These were the faces that inspired generations, yet their pain often stayed buried until it was too late. From untold health battles to injustices covered up by the industry, here are 20 things we only learned after black actors died. 20. Chadwick Boseman's silent battle. Chadwick Boseman's passing in 2020 revealed something few could ever imagine. While fans celebrated his powerful roles in Black Panther, 42, and Marshall, he was quietly enduring grueling cancer treatments. He kept his diagnosis private, never letting illness overshadow his art or the stories he wanted to tell. Even during exhausting chemotherapy sessions, he chose to film action-packed scenes that demanded both physical strength and emotional intensity. Colleagues later shared how he never complained, carrying himself with dignity and focus. His silence wasn't a weakness, it was a powerful choice to protect his privacy and inspire millions through his work. Only after his death did the world realize the unimaginable weight he carried, teaching us about resilience, strength, and the cost of unspoken battles. 19. Michael Clarke Duncan's financial struggles. Michael Clarke Duncan, best known for his Oscar-nominated role in The Green Mile, seemed larger than life. His warm personality and booming presence made him unforgettable on screen. Yet, after he died in 2012, painful truths emerged. Despite earning fame and wealth, Duncan faced financial mismanagement that left him vulnerable. Reports revealed that people close to him took advantage of his generosity, draining resources he had worked so hard for. Behind his joyful smile was a man who struggled to protect himself from betrayal. This reality painted a new picture of Duncan not just as a gentle giant in film, but also as someone who endured deep personal challenges. His story reminded fans that even the brightest stars can be left unprotected in a world full of hidden pitfalls. 18. Cicely Tyson's unheard stories. Cicely Tyson's passing in 2021 opened the door to stories the world had never fully heard. Known as a trailblazer for black women in Hollywood, her life seemed polished and untouchable. But her memoir, released shortly before her death, revealed decades of pain, rejection, and constant battles against Hollywood's narrow view of black actresses. She fought to break stereotypes, often refusing roles that demeaned black women, even when it meant losing opportunities. Tyson carried herself with grace, yet behind the elegance were struggles she rarely spoke about. After her death, her words allowed people to understand the sacrifices she made and the emotional toll of being a pioneer. What was once unseen became clear. Her fight was far greater than her fame. 17. Bernie Mac's misdiagnosed illness. When Bernie Mac died in 2008, fans were shocked by how sudden it seemed. The world lost a comedy giant whose sharp humor and unforgettable presence made him one of the most beloved entertainers of his time. After his death, the truth about his long fight with sarcoidosis came into focus. Many had no idea he lived with this rare inflammatory disease for years, as he often downplayed its seriousness. Doctors and family later revealed that complications and mismanagement worsened his condition, leading to his untimely passing. His death shed light on the hidden struggles of chronic illness, showing that even those who bring endless laughter to millions can be privately suffering in silence. Bernie Mac's story became a sobering reminder of invisible battles. 16. Whitney Houston's pressure in film. Whitney Houston's legacy as one of the greatest voices in history is undeniable, but after her passing in 2012, new stories highlighted the crushing pressures she faced while stepping into acting. Her role in The Bodyguard became a cultural phenomenon, but behind the scenes, Whitney wrestled with insecurities and constant criticism from Hollywood executives who doubted her acting ability. Balancing a booming music career with sudden film stardom weighed heavily on her. Insiders revealed the exhausting expectations placed on her shoulders and how they intensified her already turbulent personal struggles. Her death reminded the world of how fragile even the brightest stars can be, and how much hidden strain is carried by those forced to live up to impossible standards. 15. Paul Winfield's private struggles. Paul Winfield, celebrated for roles in films like Sounder and The Terminator, was praised for his versatility and depth on screen. Yet, after he died in 2004, truths about his private life became more widely known. Winfield had quietly battled health challenges, including complications from diabetes. But what struck many was the revelation of his struggles with HIV. At a time when stigma was heavy, he kept much of his personal life private, focusing instead on his craft. His passing revealed the quiet courage it took to maintain dignity while living with secrets he rarely shared. The world learned not just of his immense talent, but also the heavy burdens he bore away from the spotlight. His story became one of resilience amid silence. 14. Diahann Carroll's quiet trailblazing. Diahann Carroll was known as a glamorous star who broke barriers on television with her groundbreaking role in Julia. But after her passing in 2019, more stories came forward about the uphill battles she fought in Hollywood. Carroll often faced subtle but powerful resistance from executives who doubted audiences would embrace a black woman in leading roles. She carried herself with poise, yet privately endured the weight of being a pioneer in an industry that rarely welcomed diversity. Friends and colleagues later revealed how fiercely she fought behind closed doors for representation, even when it cost her opportunities. After her death, the full scope of her courage was recognized, showing the sacrifices she made so others could one day walk through the same doors. 13. Gregory Hines' hidden illness. Gregory Hines dazzled audiences with his unmatched tap dancing and charismatic acting. His energy seemed limitless, making his death in 2003 a heartbreaking shock. Only afterward did people learn that he had been quietly battling liver cancer, a struggle he chose to keep private. He continued to perform and inspire others, never allowing illness to overshadow his artistry. Friends later shared how his strength and determination kept him moving forward, even in his final days. The revelation painted a deeper picture of Hines not only as an entertainer, but as a man of incredible willpower who kept giving joy to others while enduring pain. His passing taught the world about the resilience behind the rhythm and the hidden strength within his shining career. 12. Eartha Kitt's outspoken activism. Eartha Kitt captivated audiences with her sultry voice and fierce personality, but after she died in 2008, many people discovered the heavy price she paid for speaking her mind. In the 1960s, she publicly criticized the Vietnam War, and as a result, she was blacklisted by Hollywood and even monitored by government agencies. Much of this history resurfaced after her passing, reminding the world of how she risked her career to stand by her convictions. For decades, she lived with the consequences, often forced to work overseas when U.S. doors closed on her. Though celebrated for her artistry, it was her bravery that shone brighter in retrospect. After she died, her story became not just one of talent, but of fearless defiance against injustice. 11. Sherman Hemsley's secret life. Sherman Hemsley brought laughter to millions as George Jefferson, yet after he died in 2012, surprising details about his personal life came to light. Despite fame and success, Hemsley lived quietly and somewhat reclusively, often avoiding the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. Friends described him as eccentric, enjoying solitude and private spiritual practices that fans never saw. His death also sparked a lengthy legal battle over his estate, revealing how unprepared he had been for the complexities of fame and money. These revelations shifted how people saw him beyond the loud comedic character. He was a deeply private man who valued peace over attention. The contrast between his on-screen persona and his real life became more striking only after his passing. 10. Ruby Dee's letters and activism. Ruby Dee was admired as an actress, but after she died in 2014, her personal letters and stories revealed an even deeper side. Beyond her performances, she had been a powerful voice in civil rights, working tirelessly alongside her husband, Ossie Davis. She wrote speeches, organized protests, and quietly mentored younger generations of black performers. Many of these details only came to light after her passing, when tributes and documents showed just how much she sacrificed for justice. Her work wasn't limited to the screen. She fought in real-life battles that shaped history. The world learned that Ruby Dee's legacy stretched far beyond acting. She wasn't only an artist, but a force for change, carrying struggles that often remained hidden while she lived. 9. John Witherspoon's comedy sacrifices. John Witherspoon's death in 2019 revealed just how much he gave to comedy behind the scenes. Known for his hilarious roles in Friday and the Boondocks, he was beloved for his energy and delivery. But after his passing, comedians shared stories about how Witherspoon quietly helped younger performers, often without recognition. He gave advice, opened doors, and sacrificed opportunities so others could shine. What fans saw as a funny, father-like figure was also a mentor who carried heavy responsibility. He endured the grind of the entertainment industry for decades, often underpaid compared to his peers, yet he never stopped giving. After his death, the world saw the bigger picture. His laughter wasn't just entertainment, it was a gift built on sacrifice and quiet dedication. 8. Ossie Davis's unshakable convictions. Ossie Davis was a respected actor, but after he died in 2005, the depth of his activism became even more apparent. He wasn't just taking roles, he was choosing projects that aligned with his beliefs, often turning down opportunities if they didn't reflect dignity for Black characters. Stories resurfaced about how he spoke at Malcolm X's funeral, how he pushed for equality on and off the screen, and how he mentored younger voices. His career wasn't easy, and he lost chances because he refused to compromise his values. These truths became clearer after his passing, showing that Davis lived with unshakable principles. His death highlighted how much he gave to both art and activism, leaving behind lessons that extended far beyond film. 7. Thomas Michael Ford's silent health decline. Best remembered as Tommy from the hit sitcom Martin, Thomas Michael Ford's death in 2016 shocked fans. He was known for his warm smile and easy charm, but after his passing, it became clear that he had been dealing with serious health problems. He had long struggled with issues like high blood pressure, which eventually led to complications that took his life. Friends later shared that Ford rarely spoke about his health challenges, keeping much of it private, while continuing to inspire others with motivational speaking and community work. His death revealed how silently he carried these burdens, showing that even while making others laugh, he was facing struggles of his own. Fans learned a deeper truth about the battles behind his joy. 6. Natalie Desselle Reid's overlooked talent. Natalie Desselle Reid's death in 2020 left fans heartbroken, and it also revealed just how underappreciated she had been in Hollywood. Best known for roles in BAP's Cinderella and Eve, she had a gift for comedy and warmth that lit up the screen. Yet after her passing, many reflected on how little recognition she truly received during her career. Friends and co-stars shared stories of her kindness, professionalism, and the energy she brought to every set. Her death reminded people of the quiet struggles many talented Black actresses face in an industry that often overlooks them. Natalie's passing brought overdue appreciation for her work, making audiences realize she should have been celebrated far more while she was alive. 5. Esther Rolle's fight for representation. Esther Rolle, known for her role as Florida Evans in Good Times, was a strong advocate for authentic portrayals of Black families. After she died in 1998, more stories emerged about how tirelessly she fought for dignity on television. She often clashed with producers over stereotypical storylines, demanding better representation for Black culture and family life. Many didn't know how much she sacrificed behind the scenes to keep harmful portrayals off the air. Her passing made clear that she wasn't just acting, she was actively shaping television history. Esther Rolle's courage revealed itself most fully after her death, reminding people that her impact was not only in her performances, but in her determination to create real, respectful images of Black life. 4. Yaphet Kotto's Hollywood struggles. Yaphet Kotto, remembered for roles in Alien and Live and Let Die, had a career filled with groundbreaking parts. But after he died in 2021, troubling stories about his Hollywood experience resurfaced. He spoke openly about the racism he faced, but it was only after he was gone that the full scope of his struggles came to light. Casting directors often overlooked him for leading roles, despite his undeniable talent and commanding presence. Friends recalled how he endured constant typecasting, forced into roles that rarely reflected his range. His death highlighted the painful reality of how systemic barriers limited even the most gifted Black actors. Kotto's story, revealed more deeply after his passing, exposed Hollywood's long history of shutting out deserving talent. 3. Roxy Roker's groundbreaking impact. Roxy Roker became a television pioneer as Helen Willis on The Jeffersons, where she played one half of one of the first interracial couples shown on primetime television. At the time, the role stirred controversy, but after she died in 1995, people began to understand the enormous weight she carried as a trailblazer. Colleagues later shared that she was fully aware of the backlash, yet pushed forward, knowing how important the representation was. Her death reminded audiences that she wasn't just a performer, but a bold figure who challenged social norms through her work. Roxy's legacy became clearer after her passing, showing that her courage helped break barriers and reshape television history in ways that would influence generations of actors to come. 2. Clarence Williams III's hidden legacy. Clarence Williams III, famous for his breakout role in the Mod Squad, was long admired for his intense screen presence. But after he died in 2021, fans and critics realized how much of his influence had gone unnoticed during his life. Tributes poured in, highlighting how his performances shaped television and film, especially in breaking stereotypes of black men in leading roles. He inspired countless actors with his boldness, yet Hollywood often failed to give him the recognition he deserved. His passing reminded people that he was far more than a supporting player. He was a quiet revolutionary. Only after his death did the industry fully acknowledge the groundbreaking mark he left behind, cementing him as a true force in entertainment history. 1. Sidney Poitier's untold burdens. Sidney Poitier's death in 2022 closed the chapter on one of Hollywood's greatest stories. As the first black man to win an Oscar for Best Actor, he symbolized progress, but after his passing, tributes revealed the immense weight he carried. He was constantly expected to represent an entire race, choosing roles carefully to avoid reinforcing stereotypes. Behind the elegance and grace, he bore pressures few could imagine, every decision judged not only as an actor, but as a symbol of change. His death revealed the loneliness of being a pioneer, a man who shouldered history on his back. While celebrated for his achievements, the world finally understood the heavy burden he lived with, making his victories even more extraordinary in retrospect. Behind the fame, the glamour, and the unforgettable performances, these actors carried struggles, secrets, and sacrifices that only came to light after their deaths. Which of these stories moved you the most? And which actor's hidden truth do you think the world needs to hear louder? If you want more untold stories of Hollywood's hidden past, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for the next deep dive.